So, good morning, good night, good evening, depending on where you are in this world, and welcome to another album review of the Shield Dude on a Couch. So, I did an AFI review because I had put a poll, and basically, AFI won by one vote. That's why it was the first review. But now, my second review of this weekend is Fries and Horizons West. And here's the poll, like why this one came in number second by just one tiny vote. So I gotta get this out of the way. I'm a huge Fries uh, fan of the band. I've been listening to them since the days of the Artist and the Ambulance, and they're a band that they've always experimented with different sounds. I know they were lumping like a post-hardcore, but to me they're more of like a rock band. And I actually saw them live when I lived in Florida. I saw them in Fort Lauderdale, and they did not disappoint. They were touring for the album Poems at that moment, and it was a great show. Something why I love Fries. First of all, they're great musicians. They write some great songs, and sometimes they don't need to be heavy musically because they can be heavy with emotion. Like for example, a song like Beyond the Pines. I love that song. That's a beautiful song that hits you with the emotions, and they tend to do that. I remember when they put out To Be Everywhere is to Be Nowhere, which I also bought on vinyl. That was their comeback record, and I loved it. I thought the songs like Honey, Hurricane, even though they weren't as heavy as their older stuff, they really hit emotionally. So this album, Horizons West, is the follow-up to Horizons East. And Horizons East came out a few years ago in 2021, and that album was more. They experimented with a lot of like electronic sounds to the music, and this was supposed to be a double album, but they divided it because in 2023 the band Fries decided to do a new version of the Artist and the Ambulance and tour for the 20th anniversary of that landmark album. So now they're back with Horizons West, and I can say that I like this album better than Horizons East, and I'm going to explain why. I thought Horizons East sometimes was a little bit too experimental at times for its own good and lost a little bit of like the rock element to the band. And also, I didn't feel the emotions on that one as much as other albums in their past. I did enjoy it when it came out, but it's not an album that I've gone back to a lot. But Horizons West is an album that has 11 tracks, actually 10 because they have a song in the middle called Dusk, which is an instrumental which divides the record. So this record can be described like with tracks that are rocking and tracks that are more on the emotional side. So the tracks that are more like with rock elements are songs like Blackout, which starts the record, and it starts with that more of that vibe of ease, but then it gets really rocking till the end, and I enjoyed it. It's a solid album starter. Then you have the single that Ganache, which they do. I like the aggression on that one. Dusting sounds more aggressive on that one, and I thought it was an interesting single because they do like something with the guitar that goes like donna donna. That it's kind of repetitive, but I think blends well. Then they have other songs that are pretty rocking. I thought songs like Undertow, Crooked Shadows really bring more of a heavy, aggressive side. So if you are missing that old Fries, they got you covered with some songs on this record. But they do not forget the emotional side as well, with songs like Dark Glow, which that one comes after Dusk. And Dark Glow, the beginning is like a guitar reminded me of Something You Can Never Have by Nine Inch Nails, but then then it changes. But I was like, wow, it kind of reminds me of that Nine Inch Nails track. But then it sounds like classic Fries. It's a very emotional song. some great guitar parts on it. And also, this album has some great bass parts to it as well. So, other emotional songs like Holding On really show how Fries can have some this like really emotional tracks. And this is an album that they cover different types of themes, like for personal identity, technological anxiety, spiritual awakening, and contemplating an ending. So Horizons East felt more like a beginning. This one feels like the end. So it both tie together quite nicely with the themes that are covered on both records. So yeah, Holding On is great, and then you have later tracks like Best Per Light, where like again, Fries knows how to have some rocking tracks, but also have some emotive vocals, and it also helps that Dustin Kensrue is a great vocalist. Like I think the dude really shows emotion because there's some singers in rock that can sing well, but I don't connect with their voice like on an emotional level. But Dustin sounds very vulnerable with most of the tracks. Even when he's aggressive, there's a vulnerability to it that I think makes you relate to the lyrics and feel the emotions, even though if you don't understand the lyrics quite well, because the way they write the lyrics can be kind of cryptic sometimes. So it's not like a cut and paste, like you listen to this song and you're like, okay, I know exactly what this song is about. Not the case with Fries, at least for me. But my favorite track on this record, and it was one of the singles, is the song Albatross. That song just mixes everything that Fries does well in one track. I love the line when they're doing the chorus, like they keep on telling me our stars are crossed. I think that you might be my albatross. And that could be like a romantic feeling to that song. Like maybe that albatross is like your soulmate. I don't know, but it's a great, I think it's my favorite line on this whole record. But this is a record that I think Fries on this one did a good balance of having rocking tracks with their emotional stuff. And even though there's some experimentations on some of the tracks, uh, I think they concentrated more on having a straight out rock album. And you know what? That's what I wanted. I wanted a rock album. I can appreciate why they did in East with some of the weird experimentation, but I wanted that for Fries. I wanted a straightforward, more rock record with emotional lyrics, and I got that. So I'm satisfied as a fan. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Thrice-Horizons West? Did you like it? Comment down below what are your favorite tracks from this record. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.